as our blue Zerg. Representing Team Liquid, it's TLO. And down to the south, as our Red Terran, representing Red Bull, it's Bomber. All right, well, game number one here, Paulo and I'm really hoping we don't see a swift 3-0 once again in this quarterfinal. But, as you rightly said, deal with Bomber, you know, in those earlier stages, that's where the big danger zone is. And, you know, that is exhibited so many times by, you see him running in the mid-game with so much firepower, so much steam, but then eventually it just kind of wears out the longer that Zerg lasts on. So, how well is TLO going to be able to handle it? Can he handle the heat?
Yeah, that's what he has to do in this series. Just handle the heat against Bomber. We all know how Bomber likes to play. There's been jokes over, you know, the StarCraft 2 electricity bill in the barracks is pretty damn high.
Yeah.
They are just never off. They are always producing units. Bomber is opening up with a bit of a different build to what we usually see here, though. He had on one barracks, but without taking a gas. Without taking a gas here, he's going to be going one barracks command center by the looks of it, which is an older build. But what ends up happening sometimes is that the Marine can catch an Overlord if the Overlord is getting a little bit too eager to find out what's going on, because you're not expecting to see a Marine.
Yeah, a little bit feisty. Will TLO control properly and make sure he's safe is the big question now, as he just threw down his spawn pool behind hatchery first. So nothing too big in terms of craziness coming out from TLO early on. We'll probably want to try and go gas, but once he sees that there's a lack of gas...
He's got to be careful with his first Overlords.
Yeah, he really does.
Serious about that. It's something that happens to... Oh, it's happened to me a lot. And I've seen it to happen to other Zerg players too, because you're like, all right, let me just go check if it's Command Center first or Reaper Expand. And then you're like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh. It's actually really out in the open here. Like,
yeah, he's already heading for the hills.
Yeah, he can get over there.
Yeah, if he'd gone in any deeper, that would have been a bit of a problem. But it's okay, Bomber didn't see the Overlord there.
Yeah.
And TLO will survive with that first Overlord.
So good.
But from this position, Bomber, we'll see double gases being taken most likely. So his build is much older, and with double gases, he's going to be able to go for the factory reactor pretty fast, and most likely with the double gases being taken, go for a starport too. Maybe Hellion Banshee. But wait a minute, that's another barracks. That's not gases being taken.
Hello.
This is not at all what TLO will be expecting to play against here. Interesting choice of build here from Bomber.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of Marines out very quickly.
Yes.
And this means
and
that...
another one too.
Does he throw down another one? Oh, okay, right, okay.
So
well,
this is looking to really punish TLO here.
Yeah.
Because what TLO will do is play it. I mean, it really depends, because you're always... What Bomber's going to do here is move out with... I suppose could be up to 16 Marines. And then look to just go, bam, kill your third, kill some Queens, get to the drone line on the natural.
Yeah.
If TLO sees us coming, he may have enough Queens and Lings out to defend it. You don't need speed, you don't need Bailings against this. You just need maybe a couple extra Queens and Zerglings out in time. But if he doesn't know this is coming, this is a nice blind move here from Bomber to really hit TLO hard.
Yeah, it really does pack a punch, and TLO's going to have to figure that out. Meanwhile, back at home for TLO, he's actually working on these pack rocks very quickly, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think he's going to... You know, one of the best ways to play against a parading Terran is to take that back base as your fourth.
Yeah. And
then really crease spread on your third, and you don't have to defend out in the open with third and fourth, which you would do normally.
That's a very good choice for him if he's able to get that going. But again, these rocks do take a whole lot of time to actually kill off, so it's going to take them a while. That drone is actually heading down to take the third over here.
Yeah, he can't take it in the back yet. The rocks aren't destroyed. Funny enough, though, the last night at dinner with TLO, he asked me, what do you reckon Bomber's going to go for? Command Center first or Reaper Expand? I said it doesn't matter, because, I mean, what are you going to do with that? You still say that play the same game.
Yeah.
And then I said, you should be more worried about if we're going to see some combat shield timings and stim timings out from Bomber, because he has been known to do these kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing now. But TLO's told me that it's okay. I hope he plays like that. He actually said, I hope he plays like that. And I said, why? He says, because I always send an Overlord in. I always see it. And look what we see now.
Nice. TLO
He sees it, he expects it, he's got the bailiness down, he's got his links being made, and he knows what's coming. And if he stops this without taking any losses, which he's building up to do, he will find himself in a very, very comfortable position. There's no Hellions, there's no Banshees, no double evolution chamber, double upgrades from the engineering base, there's no the command center down early.
And I think in general, Bomber kind of gives up now that it has been spotted. So TLO, with that bailiness finishing up as well, every little piece he needs to push this away with the
Bomber went to the wrong side too.
Yeah.
He thought the third base would be on the right-hand side. He actually wasted time traveling over there, which has bought, in return, TLO more time to defend against it.
Very nicely done here so far by TLO, spotting all of this, but at the same time, a few creep tumors will go down, so that will make the creep recede just a little bit, but the baneling's morphing in. I mean, that's more than enough here for TLO.
And Bomber knows that this is spotted so early, he shouldn't be here for too long.
Yeah.
If he just goes back now home, this is the best value he could have gotten with this attack, considering it was scouted.
Exactly, just forces a few banelings and
with
stuff.
just one evolution chamber and a carapace upgrade, knowing that there's no tanks, Hellions or anything, he's going to go counter.
Ooh,
He's going to go counter, and if he gets these Marines, this helps him out even more.
He can actually catch a lot of this. He surrounds around them, and the banelings coming in as well to help on. TLO in game number 1, also morphing in banelings.
He's going for the kill.
Oh, will he be able to make it happen though? That's a what? That wall is plentiful. There's another bunker behind it. That's quite a few banelings here.
Decision, absolutely wonderful decision making from the German. He deals with the attack. He counters knowing the weakness of what Bomber's gone for, and he is in the main.
Meanwhile, all those minis, there you go. GG, TLO knows. And
Great start.
Wow. And that we unless we see it in TLO's way, we are not going to see a 3-0.
Yeah, no 3-0 here, and that is a fantastic start from TLO. Everything went the way he probably played it out in his head. Knowing that if Bomber plays normal, I'll play my normal game. If he tries something tricky, I'll scout it, I know it. And remember, all of these kind of attacks which Terran players and Protoss players go for against Zerg, they are very bad if spotted early.
Yeah.
Very simple. If it's spotted, the Zerg player has way too much time to be able to deal with it, and as we saw, he did deal with it, and he countered in return. Beautiful play from TLO, and he opens up the series with a 1-0, and I really do believe, as you said, a lot of people were probably expecting a 3-0 to come out from this in favor of Bomber.
I mean, in general, the things that you spoke about with TLO last night, in almost every single extended series that we see from Bomber, like a best of 5 against a Zerg, we always see that happen. At least once. He always goes for this 3 barracks with a little bit of a timing thrown in there and trying to really catch his opponent off guard. But normally it comes later on in the series. But this came from the very get-go, and TLO knew everything about it. Really good metagame sense and control here from our Zerg.
And especially because he won on Bomber's map.
Yeah.
So that was Bomber's first map. TLO, as you can see on screen, just breathing in, relaxing, keeping his heartbeat low, ready to go into map number 2 here, but that's not the start that Bomber wanted here. Obviously his map choice, a smaller map, remember, that he wanted to play his aggressive style on, and his game plan destroyed, and Bomber fixated on the screen right now, waiting for this game lobby invite.
I'll tell you something though, game number 1, TLO looked great. TLO was reading the game really well. If he is somehow, we may be getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, but if he is somehow able to take this series, that is a huge victory for TLO in itself. Yeah. Not just moving on to the round of 4, but against someone like Bomber, a world-class Terran, Season 2 champion in 2013. Yeah,
and remember though that the one tournament that TLO got past the semi-finals last year was during the summertime, and it was the Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup is like a tier 2 event. Yep. You know, it's not a tier 1 event like this is. This is the Intel Extreme Masters. It's a tier 1 event. There's a lot of prize money on the line. There's a lot of WCS points on the line. And remember, last year, how important points were actually important towards the end of the year. Every single point was important that you gathered throughout the year. He's already banked 50 for being a challenger.
Yeah.
He's already got X amount for being in Premier League, and he's now, if he wins this series, going into the semis, it's an extra 375 points. A lot on the line here.
And I think TLO in general, after finishing third of all foreigners in the WCS points last season, is probably really hungry for it this season. He was just 250 points shy of Scarlet. Never mind anybody else. And that's a really impressive accomplishment. But anyway, guys, for now, we're just going to go to a short break before we get into game number 2. And then when we're back, we'll have more Bomber versus TLO.